We have some big Daizen Maeda news to discuss in today's video, as an interesting revelation has came up. We will go over this in today's video, whilst discussing all the latest Celtic news from the last 24 hours.
But first, make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel for more Celtic content.
Celtic supporters are planning a silent protest this week, but the timing of it has been called into question after Brendan Rodgers' side were held to a frustrating 0-0 draw with Hibernian at Celtic Park on Saturday. The goalless stalemate has sparked concern that any form of protest inside Celtic Park could have a direct impact on the players, particularly with a huge European night against Braga looming on Thursday. Motherwell midfielder Andy Halliday believes the silence could take away a crucial edge that Celtic players usually benefit from in big matches. He stressed his comments were not in defence of the board, but rather about the potential effect on Rodgers' side heading into key fixtures. Halliday highlighted that while fans have every right to express dissatisfaction, the manner of the protest might not help achieve the change supporters are looking for. He said, "I just don't think it's going to have the desired effect that the Celtic fans are looking for." And again, I'm saying this as if I'm one of the home players going out there in a place where you usually rely on your crowd as a 12th man, and the Celtic fans can definitely be that, especially on a European night like Thursday. But I just don't think that's exactly what the players need going into these games. And, by the way, if it doesn't have the desired effect, and the aim was to push the board to show some change, then fair enough. But I don't see that happening either. So I don't think there are going to be many positive outcomes coming from this. Celtic fans have never been shy about making their voices heard, and the planned silence is aimed squarely at the board, not the players. Supporters feel they've been ignored for too long, and this protest is about showing just how much power they bring to Celtic Park. Saturday's 0-0 draw at Celtic Park only added to the mood. Rodgers' side couldn't break Hibs down, and many believe the Irishman hasn't been properly backed in recent windows, leaving gaps in the squad that are now being exposed. Staying quiet goes against everything Celtic Park is known for, especially on big European nights. Halliday believes it could play into the opposition's hands, but plenty of supporters feel the bigger issue is a lack of ambition from the board. For them, the atmosphere is already being undermined by off-field decisions. Thursday night will now be about more than just the result on the pitch. How the protest plays out in the stands will be just as closely watched, as fans look to drive home their message, while others wonder if silence can really bring the change they want. Now for the main story, as Andy Walker has questioned whether Celtic have enough cutting edge in the final third this season, highlighting the ongoing issues facing Brendan Rodgers' attacking options. Walker focused on the form and mindset of Daizen Maeda, while also discussing the expectations on summer signing Kelechi Iheanacho to make an impact in front of goal. The former Celtic striker noted that while the team is still creating chances, the lack of a clinical finishing touch is beginning to take its toll, especially in games where margins are tight and defences are sitting deep. Walker suggested that Maeda's failed summer move might still be weighing on the Japanese international, potentially affecting his sharpness and focus at a time when the squad needs his energy and output more than ever. He said, "Until such times as they get this ball over the line, they get that clinical edge, they get that finishing touch, someone like Iheanacho, who's going to be playing more often than not." Is it Maeda who'll get his focus back? Because he's not just a player that scored goals. He's someone that can set up some really good chances. So that is a difficult one, because he thought he was going to get a move and he was denied at the very last moment. So for him and his family, it's really tough to adjust. Celtic have had strong spells this season, but the lack of a killer instinct up front is becoming a clear issue. It's something Brendan Rodgers will want sorted quickly, especially with big European nights coming up. Maeda hasn't quite looked himself. Last season he was flying, but just now he seems a bit off it. Whether that's down to fitness, form, or the disappointment of a blocked move in the summer, it's clear he's not hitting the same levels. Iheanacho has made a decent start, grabbing some key goals since joining, but he's still finding his feet and hasn't had a regular run in the team yet. That could change soon, with more responsibility likely to come his way. Walker's comments echo what a lot of fans are thinking. Celtic have the players to do damage, but unless someone starts taking chances more regularly, they'll keep letting results slip. In other news, David Friel has raised doubts over the impact of Celtic's planned 29-minute silent protest during Thursday night's Europa League clash against Braga, questioning whether it will bring about the changes many supporters are calling for. The Scottish Sun journalist discussed the ongoing tensions between the Celtic board and the club's fan base, who have escalated their protests in recent weeks. One of the headline moves will see a large portion of the support remain silent for nearly a third of the match against the Portuguese side. The protest is part of a broader campaign led by the Celtic Fans Collective, aiming to apply pressure on the club's hierarchy. While fan groups insist their actions are not targeted at the players, concerns remain over how such demonstrations might affect the team during key fixtures, particularly in Europe. Friel pointed out that while supporters have every right to express their frustrations, there are questions about timing, effectiveness, and unintended consequences for the team on the park. He said, 29 minutes for Thursday night against Braga, yeah, and we spoke about it that weekend. What does it achieve? Does it achieve what the Celtic fans want, which is changing the boardroom? I'm not so sure. I'd like to think there's a different way to go about it. Probably not, because it's 12 minutes. It's not a huge portion of the game. And I dare say not every single fan inside the stadium will be like that. But, when you're hitting the 29th minute, that's a third of the game, a European game, where Celtic have had some impressive European performances at home over the years. And it's all built on a fast start. They want to get out, they want to get after Braga. And maybe, with a large portion of the fans staying silent, I'm not sure that helps them. Brendan Rodgers has been very clear on this. He will never tell a Celtic fan what to do, how to behave, how to feel. He keeps saying that. However, I think he's also made it very clear that he wants them to get behind the team in such a big European game, if possible. It obviously looks as if there's going to be this protest on Thursday night. I think it's far too late for that to change. I suppose the big question is, how does it impact? How much does it impact? Because I'd imagine the Braga players and the manager will be more than happy there's going to be a section staying silent. Friel's comments tap into a bigger issue about how Celtic fans choose to show their frustration, especially at a club where European nights are usually fueled by passion and noise from the stands. Celtic have built strong home performances in Europe on quick starts and an intense atmosphere. With Braga visiting, there's a real chance that a long period of silence could take the edge off that, and it might even play into the away side's hands. The protest looks set to go ahead as planned, with supporter groups showing no signs of backing down. What it means in the long run, for both the board and the players, is still unclear. Rodgers has tried to strike a balance, making it clear he respects the right to protest but also wants the team to be backed. Friel's take highlights the tricky spot the club finds itself in, caught between supporter unrest and the need for full backing on a big European night.
What do you think of what we discussed in today's video? Let us know down in the comments section below. Make sure you've liked this video and subscribe to the channel for more Celtic content. Thank you, take care, goodbye.